Middle Belt Leaders Forum this week rose from a meeting in Abuja and warned that rising poverty in the country has put the very existence of the federation at great risk. The forum observed that from Nigeria's recent ranking as the poverty capital of the world, it was disheartening to note that in the past few months, things have worsened as most Nigerians are virtually living on handouts. In their communique, the leaders also touched on the impact of a grossly weakened naira and soaring inflation.
Well, National Chairman Pan-Niger Delta Forum Senator Ibok Essien joins us now to closely review the resolutions of that meeting of Southern and Middle Belt Leaders of Thought and rising poverty and insecurity. Good afternoon and welcome to Newsday.
Good afternoon. I'm hearing you.
Thank you. And thank you for your patience as well. Well, I was saying that part of what was looked at in the analysis of the meeting was that the resolutions clearly acknowledge the seriousness of the twin challenges of widespread poverty and insecurity facing Nigeria. However, it was also pointed out that there are concerns about the absence of concrete action plans and key performance metrics if these resolutions are adopted. I'm wondering if PANDEF is going to consider this takeaway and how it might deal with that.
Yeah, thank you very much. We had the meeting on Monday, 5th of February 2024. And in the meeting, we had the leadership of the Ohanes and Igbo, leadership of Afenifere, the leadership of Middle Belt Forum, and the leadership of Pan-Niger Delta Forum. And with all the leaders of these regions in the Southern and Middle Belt Forum, we deliberated on a lot of issues that is bordering on security of this country and the poverty level of this country. And we came up with the resolutions to the president for implementation, which will help to correct some of these issues bordering the country. In terms of security, we call on the president to ensure that more effort is put in place to curb the rising cases of kidnapping, herdsmen, assaults on communities, the level of killing in the country, assassinations, which is going on, and then ransacking of many communities by herdsmen. The recent cases in Jos, in Plateau State, and Benue calls for concern of all Nigerians. We had to pay a condolence visit to the governor and the people of Plateau State last month because of what happened during the Christmas period, where many communities were sacked and a lot of people, over 200 and something people, were killed. It's very unfortunate that this is happening in Nigeria at this time. We also call on the president to look at the issue where Miyetti Allah has formed a militia group in Nassarawa State. They launched it. They officially launched that outfit. And we are calling on the president to ensure that such an outfit does not see the light of the day, because if it happens that Miyetti Allah is allowed to form a militia group, it therefore means that other groups will spring up across the entire country, and the security agencies in the country may not be able to cope with such outfits.
Senator, thank you so much for outlining some of the key points and resolutions that you reached concerning insecurity. Just for us to fast track and get through a number of the other issues, I've noted that, you keep referring to, we call on the president to address the various issues that you've pointed out. At the beginning of your communique, one of the things that was emphasized was a call for true federalism. For Nigeria. Now, my question is, where do we strike a balance? Because when you look at other issues dealt with in the communique, specifically River State, we're calling on the president, your organization, rather, your group is calling on the president to come up with solutions, lasting solutions for River State. But in the same breath, we're calling for true federalism, which means that, the governors and each of the states should have more autonomy over their issues. So where are we striking the balance between almost trying to make the president the headmaster of all issues and also allowing states to be able to have autonomy over their own governance?
You did not allow me to reel down our thoughts. I was coming to that. In the first place, we are operating the current constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where the president is the chief executive officer of the country, the executive president. So we are calling on him to address these situations. But at the same time, we are also calling on the president to initiate an action to bring forth the 2014 Constitutional Conference report and also the 2018 report which APC government set up under El Rufai to review the restructuring of Nigeria. So everything boils down to the table of the president because he's the chief executive officer of the country. Following the current constitution, the 1999 constitution, and the amendments thereof, the president is the only person who can initiate these actions. And therefore, that's why we are calling on the president to initiate this action. Luckily, the president himself was an advocate of true federalism, restructuring, especially when he joined NADECO to fight during Abacha's time. And he has been an advocate. And therefore, we are calling on him now that he is in the position, in power. He's the chief executive officer, the executive president, to be able to actualize these things. So when we are talking of security, it is the president that is the chief security officer of Nigeria. He has the apparatus of security under his armpit. So he's the armed forces chief. And therefore, is the commander of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and all the other forces. So the armed forces, the security agencies are doing their bit, but he's the one to give the instruction for them to ensure that the needful is done. So that's why we are calling on the president for everything, because the Constitution vests so much power on the president. Even when the National Assembly, like they are inviting the security chiefs now, after getting all the information from the security chiefs, they can only pass a resolution which will go to the president for implementation. So all boils down to the president of the country. because the Constitution vests so much power on the president. And that's why we are calling on the president, let him set in motion the restructuring of this country. And that is the only way that this country can be safe, because each state of the federating unit will be able to protect its own unit. And then the federal government, just like it's done in other climes, the federal government will have their own federal security that also work hand in hand with the federating units security apparatus. And by the time this is done, you see that most of the security challenges in the country will be tamed. It will be tamed because the commissioner of police, for instance, of a particular state will definitely come from that state. Most of the police law enforcement agencies of the state will come from that state. And they know each other. They know all the nooks and crannies of the places that are bound to security flashes. So they will be able to address these problems critically in their states. So that's why we are calling on the president, because he's the one to bring. The good job was done in 2014. Very good job was done. If that is passed to the National Assembly for the enactment of the People's Constitution, it will solve all this problem where Nigeria is restructured. Resources will be available to the states, and then the states, like in 1963 Constitution, will also avail the federal government whatever is due to them. And then you see that everybody will run to his states rather than everybody running to Abuja. Now everybody is migrating to Abuja, and that's why Abuja is so congested. And that's why you are even having much of the security challenges in Abuja now. But if power is decentralized, you will find that most of the happenings will be in the states. So that's why we are calling on Mr. President to bring forth, revisit the 2014 Constitutional Conference, which is very comprehensive, and also can review also the 2018 APC report.
Certainly.
And marry them together for implementation. That's what we are saying.
Well, we do hope that your resolutions are adequately considered, but for now, we'd like to thank you for your time and insight. National Chairman of PANDEF, Senator Emmanuel Ibok Essien, thank you for joining us on Newsday.